We're now on the stream. For those of you that have came in late, it's not your fault. It's actually Crafter's fault. As he was casually crafting, he crafted himself out of the show. So he's back in. This is part 3 of the Mandalorian build. Crafter.
I think it was a brownout. We've got this really bad wind up here. It's just like
Scott Brownout.
That's right.
Scott Brownout. There you go. Well, thanks for joining us. I don't know if you guys saw the video I dropped. I think it was Thursday or Friday of last week, which went over some of the colors. If you didn't, it's not a big deal. I'm going to go over those right now. We're going to start with the leggings, I think. So you're going to need this, a burnt umber. So if you go ahead and pull that out, we're just going to cover the leggings completely in burnt umber.
We are. Do you have a secondary color for those who are? Is this so? Let me ask you this: is this burnt umber? Is this the same paint that was used for the neck of the head?
Yeah, if you use a dark brown or whatever, I use a dark brown. I use a burnt umber for mine.
Okay,
so dark brown, like a Citadel paint would be Morfang brown. No, not Morfang. What's the name of that color that's dark?
It's the Azrak.
I use Morfang brown for the neck.
Okay. Well, I'm just using dark brown.
The Tandia brown is the espresso like from Citadel.
Okay. Yeah, I told my viewers, if they didn't want to break the bank.
Run outside, I think is what I use.
Okay. Just a dark brown. We're going to cover them in a dark brown. We're going to layer some other colors in here, but the base has to be a dark brown. So nothing fancy. Just go ahead and layer it on. Slap it on.
Slap it on.
Slap it on. Make sure you get inside, too, because, you're going to...
That's what she said.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Looks like I can only get a little bit on at a time. And let's get the other one. Yeah, this shouldn't be a very long session at all because we're gonna wait on the stuff that goes on the pouches and things like that. The grenade holder for the belt.
Be using a wider brush for this.
I am.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have one, but you can see, for the base coat, it's just easier just to use a big brush. Well, Vin, what have you thought about it so far, as far as the work that we've been doing?
I think you guys are doing a great job. I see some people were posting theirs. I think they skipped ahead without watching all the directions, but to each their own.
I skipped some directions?
No, not you. I seen somebody, a few people had the kits. They just went and finished them. So, maybe if they have any questions or they see this, maybe they can go back and touch theirs up and do whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they're happy with it, that's all that matters, really,
Clap your hands.
But you guys are doing a great job. Keep it up.
It's really been a fun project, I'll tell you that. And taking it in pieces, kind of like, it makes it last. It's been cool. All right.
So you're doing you're doing the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I might have to leave the bottom for a little bit because I got to let that dry so I can get the bottom part. But try to get as far down as you can because the colors that we're going to use, there's like a brown band that goes around the cap here that's attached to a pouch. It's going to be a different color brown. I think it's either going to be a chocolate brown or a nutmeg brown. That's that Morfang brown.
So, for those using Citadel, again, you got the Tania, whatever it is, Tania brown. The lighter, I use the base sunset. Everland Sunset, if you can see that. And then the lighter brown, I use the Morning Fang.
Yeah, the Morning brown is a good brown.
All right, so the Morning Fang for the band with the pouch, the Sunset for your middle stripe here, and everything else the dark brown.
Yeah, I think I'm going red with the with that band. I have a Tuscan red. I saw something. Well, the picture that I had, it was more of a like a brick red. But I mean, it doesn't matter.
There's a lot of reference pictures out there, and the thing that you got to be careful with, as far as the reference pictures, it depends if it's like that first episode, or if it's when he's wearing the brown armor before he gets the Beskar, because the leg pieces really don't change.
Yeah. So, I mean, people can go, because I asked the audience to pick up one of these colors too. This is a Canyon Sunset, which is an orange, which will work. And you know, I'm using the Walmart paints just because, you know, some people are starting out and they're not going to drop like $100 just on Citadel, you know. And that's where I was coming from anyway.
Citadels, you can get, if you have a GameWorks or a GameStop near you, I mean, that's your best bet because you're not paying all those inflated prices or shipping.
Whoa, GameStop.
Not GameStop. Did I say GameWorks?
Yeah, GameWorks. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
these little guys are usually like about $5 each, $4 to $5.
what's GameWorks? Obviously, I don't have that, but what is that?
Games Workshop is Citadel paints were developed to paint Warhammer miniatures.
Correct.
Right. So that's
where I got mine. Yeah, I get them at the hobby shop here locally. But I'm going to prove that you can do this using the Walmart paints.
Yeah. What are Michaels? The Michaels ones are like $2 each, $1 each.
Oh yeah, Michaels. Yeah, and Hobby Lobby has some good ones too.
Are the Michaels ones then better than the Walmart ones for 60 cents? But not as good as Citadel? Is that?
Well, Michaels has the Folklore, which also Walmart does too. But Walmart, and they also have Americana, which Walmart does as well. That you can pay more at Michaels. So, but then you can get a Walmart, you know, that's well kept, and you can get one that's just the opposite. You can't find anything in situations like that, except for aggravation.
I think it's whatever works best for you, John. Like for me, what I found is the base paints for Citadel go on nice and smooth.
Yeah, nice.
You know, you can get like 1 or 2 coats and you're golden.
Yeah.
I don't like the layers as much, you know, and what's the other one?
The contrast.
The contrast. I mean, the contrast is so watery, I don't even buy it anymore, you know, unless you're going to mix it with something, because then you have to go over something like 2 or 3 times, and, you know, the more you paint it, the less I like it. I try with 1 or 2 coats if I can get away with it.
Vin, you said you seen people were commenting here, or people were posting, because I don't have.
No, they were just posting. I seen a couple of Mandos.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I know they got the kit from me, but they must have jumped ahead, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to wait. I mean, this is not rocket science. Yeah, they can come up with their own. You know, that's. I mean, I figured since we're all doing the same guy, you know, we can break. You know, that's why I'm not really that tight on the paint colors myself, anyway. So what about the shoe part of the boots? Isn't that not going to be the same color?
No, it's going to be a lighter brown. I'm going with the. I think I'm going to go with the nutmeg, which is like that Morfang brown.
Okay.
So if you can see that, Scott, I go with the lighter.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Then I just he has that little stripe in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do that in the darker, and if you want, you could do the bottom in black. That's up to you.
Yeah, that's
But,
nice. I like that.
That's how I did it. And again, any watching it's your own personal preference. There's it's not set in stone that it has to be these colors.
Well, you want it to be as close as possible, I think.
Yeah.
So like this is going to take a couple of coats, it looks like.
So this is just the one coat with the Citadel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And it makes a big difference,
Crafter, what are you using on that shoe?
I'm using something called Nutmeg Brown.
Okay.
But if you have that Morphang Brown, that's probably a better choice. I'm just painting it with the Walmart paints, just because I mentioned it on my channel. You don't have to break the bank because this is such an easy custom, in my opinion, that some people may want to start doing customizing on this particular figure. And so paying a lot for paints may be something that keeps them from doing it. And I'd rather just have them get into it, and get started.
So, if anybody out there wants to know a little trick, when you're doing the left calf, the one with the pouch, normally I do the stripe first, and the yellowish, whatever you're using. All right. Then I do the top stripe with the lighter brown, and then I do all the darker brown after. Just usually it makes it a little bit easier. And then if you do it right the first time, you may not even have to hit it a second time. But if you do, any mistakes or any touch-ups, you can do again after.
Yeah. I usually paint bases in layers. I go dark and then I move up light. Unless it's something I can't cover. And it might be that case because this brown is very, very watery and it doesn't cover very well. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I tend to do the opposite. I go light to dark, usually.
And this knee pad, you had it as blue-gray, right?
Yeah, I had it to match the hip plates and the padding that goes under the armor.
Yeah.
And again, that's just what I went with, but whatever works for you is fine.
Well, the pictures that I've seen, it's like a bluish-gray.
So the shoe part, the stripe could be the same color as the shoe?
Yeah, you got to let it dry, though, because it's going to take a while. That's why I'm kind of like doing this in stages. Like by the time we get back to these shin guards, they should be dry enough that we can put the second coat of paint, the lighter color on. And that's how I usually do it in my channel because I try to get the whole thing done in, as long as it takes like usually about 30 minutes is what my customs average as far as the paint jobs. Okay, so let's go. If you're ready, we're going to go for the dark blue. Oh, it looks like we're not. You're on the second shoe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can wait.
Wait, what's the next piece, though?
The armor pieces. They're like Under Armour pieces.
Oh, these three? Okay. Oh, in what you're using, like a royal? So if I use this Space Wolf's gray.
That might work, but it's a contrast. It's going to be really watery.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I don't want to do that.
I'm actually using something called dark blue gray, but you can take a gray and you can take a blue and mix them up and you can get something.
I know this says it's green, but this is Acheulean green. It doesn't look green to me. It looks very blue.
It will when you open it up. It'll be a blue-green.
Wow, I like it though. So that's not a good color then.
Whatever you guys like.
Yeah, whatever you got too.
I mean, it's a contrast. So
I went with the Nocturnal green. It's like a darker green, almost blue, with a little bit of a black tint to it. But that's what I had, so that's what I'm using today.
And I got this. Looks very green. What the hell that is?
I mean, if you look at the Hot Toys version, I think they used black. So
black.
I think so, or a very dark blue.
Yeah.
And again, I just think the way that the show was and the armor was on the show, it's just very hard to tell because sometimes it looks really light gray, but in other episodes it looks, a different color. So
What are you doing the knee piece as? What
That
is
same
that?
color
Same thing? Okay.
as the Under Armour.
Right.
Man, I'm making a mess.
Try not to spill anything this time.
Yeah, right.
That's your reminder. I don't know if you asked us to do that, but I figured it can't hurt. Okay, there we go. That's a little. So I wonder what kind of complication this is going to be with this, and why did Meta cancel privileges?
Oh, yeah.
I think Meta. I know that. I'm pretty sure you're going to see like Microsoft, Meta, which is Facebook. Um,
With their own version?
no, well, there's going to be software that they've designed, uh, whether it's directly or indirectly, just something, a subsidiary company or something like that. You will see that soon because they seem to be doing all of the preliminary type moves like this one, like all of a sudden not allowing streaming on groups. You still be able to stream with profiles and pages though.
So I found, Scott, that so my Meta page, right on the Binge Universe page on Facebook, I used to be able to link like my Etsy and eBay links. They took that away too.
How is this? Is this a recent takeaway?
It was about maybe like 6 months ago. So you used to be
Okay.
able to post something, and if people wanted it, they could just click and take it to these other places. But out of nowhere, just one day, they just flipped the switch, and that was gone.
So no external links?
Not to
I mean, I think you probably could still do it, but it's just not as easy. I mean, you would be able to put a catalog, you know what I mean?
Right.
All your stuff right there, and it used to be so convenient. But
I thought
now you can't. Like, I could still post a link to Etsy, but it's just not as convenient. I have to do it. Manually.
so. Yeah, that might actually be an underlying something that has to do with fake stuff. Making it harder for people to pirate.
Maybe.
Like for example, I saw there's this guy Marty Shorts who does like guitar tutorials and stuff like that. He's like beginner to intermediate, so he gets a lot of traffic. And I go in there and I learn some quick riffs or something like that. Like, oh, I didn't know how to. So I'm scrolling not that long ago, and I see Marty. Because his little things start off where he's always sitting down. He's got a guitar on him. And he'll talk and then he'll play his thing and then that's it or whatever. So he's sitting there. He's got his guitar on. He goes, "Hey, Gibson's giving away a bunch of free Les Paul and blah blah blah." And he so sign or something like that. So sign up and like it was a real short thing. And I was like, wow. Because I knew it wasn't really him, and it wasn't. It was a total
AI.
Yep, it's total AI. They AI'd somebody that's just unimportant, in the big scheme of things because he gets a lot of traffic and and he's of the age group. I think we're probably like the most gullible age group that there is. our gender and everything. I think like yeah, if you're gonna pull some junk over, pull it on some middle aged guys because they'll buy into anything. Oh, press that button and win a Corvette. Oh yeah, boom. And next thing you know, you crash your computer and all your information exposed. You get it fixed, and then you get another one. Press this button and get a Corvette. Boom, you do the same thing again. It's like, dang, maybe I'll get it this time. Like, no, dude, it was none of it. You wouldn't have ever gotten it. It's not real. So, having said that, I think that's probably they're just making it a little bit more difficult to.
Yeah.
I like this color, but I don't know if it's right for this. But I'm doing it anyway. It says it's a contrast. I thought a contrast was like a. Did I get
There
the
was
wrong
like a
thing or
watch.
something? I know. I think I must have. No, it says it does say it's a contrast though. That's so weird. Well, mine's gonna. You know what? If I was playing this as a PC game, I would have done this anyway. Like my Star Trek characters, they all have like they're wearing like the later uniforms, and then their little. My colors are always like a blue and a instead of like the traditional. So this is how it would be. This is their online Star Wars game.
Yeah, that's what I play.
Oh, you
Star
play
Wars
online?
Huh?
What is it?
Star Wars Galaxies?
Really?
Yeah, it's like a sandbox. You can do whatever you want. I'm a crafter, and I do all this combat. And people think I'm nuts.
You're not nuts. You're just like the oldest nerd I know.
I am.
Besides,
I played that like 15 years ago when it first came out, Steve.
Yeah, so did I with my kids.
But then what was happening was sometimes like you would set up those machines or whatever to harvest or whatever to get money. I found it to be like work. It's like I was coming home from work. Oh, shit, I can't go to bed. I got to empty out my stuff before it breaks or whatever. It was like it was way over the top. I was like, enough. You know what I mean? For me, it was
Sure.
enough.
But seriously, you're missing an appointment because somebody attacked your colony,
Right.
and you got to read like, what are you doing? Like, Jones, get in here, sir. Hold on, sir. We got a problem. Jones, what do you mean they attacked what colony, Jones? Do we need to call some? No, I fixed it, sir.
My problem is the Galactic Civil War. I'm always having to go back and get these points so I can maintain my general rank. Because if you don't engage in like combat and stuff like that, you lose your rank.
So, I guess I'm the oddball here because I actually I played Star Trek Online for like 2.5, almost 3 years, and I'm like an admiral in 3 factions, and I have several other races. I get to when you get to admiral and vice admiral, and then you kind of you can start over. You could be like Federation. It's the same thing as a Star Wars game. Be like a Jedi or like a Han Solo type or a. So did you ever play City of Heroes?
A
Hey,
long
one
time.
second. Are we painting this holster on this gun? And is that one of
I was
those browns?
going to go over that in a second.
Okay.
Whatever color let me do that now real quick. I just noticed I missed a part here. Let me switch to that.
Sorry.
Okay,
I did mine.
Oh,
Hey, that's nice.
that is a nice figure, man. It really is. You painted that?
Yeah, everything. Well,
Oh, so he's not just a guy with a 3D printer. I told you, fellas. I told you that. Big long discussion. I stuck up for you.
I
These guys
just
did.
make perfect, you know.
There
Oh
you go.
wow, that's really nice, man. That's really slick. You should, you know what? You should make you should pick like I'd say at minimum 5 of your best packages like that, and then I would say make 10 of them, 10 each, and make sure you bring that stuff to Mego Meet. And I bet you, if it's unique enough, and I'll tell you what's unique because I go to these, I see what everybody does, And if it's unique enough, you'll sell every single one of them. And I think, believe it or not, with Amigo version of Mandalorian, I think that's a good safe bet that you'll sell them because everybody. I'll tell you right now, everybody does monsters. Everybody does monsters.
Yeah.
Everybody does the dude. Everybody, just like the. But believe it or not,
I went to the one of those Migo meets like in the early days when it was in the city, in
right?
New York City.
So this is going to be at ZoloCon.
It was one of the first ones, and it was great. I enjoyed it. The problem for me is where they have it. Basically, it doesn't make sense to fly because if I fly in there, I still got to rent the car and drive for like 2 hours or 4 hours, whatever it is, and the same thing coming home. Now, if I drive it, it's like 10 hours.
Well,
I got to drive there 10 hours, go there, hang out, or whatever, and then, drive home another 10 hours. And it's usually on a weekend that my kids have something else.
So this one is in August. It's August, I think, 18th and the 19th. It's also, Migo Meet is being hosted by ZoloCon, and it's going to be in Philadelphia.
Oh, well,
It's gonna be a PA, right? It's a different, exactly. And forget about Migo Meet. You're gonna be surrounded by greatness, man. You're gonna be surrounded by like these awesome dude. I'm telling you, man, these are awesome. The awesomest toy, small toy guys out now.
Right.
Like these two dudes, and they're super cool. They're cool as shit. They're down with tiny plastic men. Those two. Brent, I'll be with Brent. Uh, the horsemen will be there, and they're all the rage.
Yeah. A lot of people buy those mythic legions.
Yeah, and they got a good sales pitch. It's not my thing, but I'm not like a He-Man guy at all either. I mean, Jesus, never. I mean, just I can't even begin to tell you the many reasons why that type.
Some of the ones that they come out with are pretty good. I have just a handful. I don't buy everything, but I have a handful of them because, like you said, they're unique. They do like those vampires, or they do those.
Oh no, yeah, the 400 degree. Yeah, their shit. No, I'm sorry, their stuff. I really enjoy. I mean, I think it's brilliant. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
However, I'm telling you, if it was my thing, which I can't look because I can't go down that. I'm in so many rabbit holes right now. I mean, I'll have my house paid off before I get, some of these things that I need to collect. Well, I don't need to collect them, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Hey, John, going back to your question, whatever leather you have, that should probably be the color of your holster. Like mine looks like burnt umber.
So for the shins, use that brown.
Oh, I'm waiting for my shins to dry. I was gonna hit the rifle real quick in the holster.
Okay, what have I painted that was leather? The shoes?
I painted mine in like a lighter brown, and then we're gonna put that dark stripe down the center.
So we don't have leather yet.
Like if you go with the light stripe, John, I match the holster to the light stripe. This way it gives you some
the light stripe.
It's not all dark brown. You know what I'm saying?
The light stripe on what?
On the left calf.
Oh, okay.
So to be clear, the light stripe is not the light stripe, but it's the one. It's the one that's not as light as the other one.
It's the light stripe.
Okay. And that's not the same color as the shoe, though, is it?
It is actually.
It is. Okay.
Well, for me, it is. I don't. Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to paint
this is too light.
The lighter color. I think it's
you think
dry
that's
now.
too light? The shoes here?
No, they're just like mine, dude. Look.
Yeah, that's not bad.
There you go.
Okay.
And you're gonna put that stripe in the middle. It's gonna offset it, John.
And that's the same color as the pouch?
Correct.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at. Why am I asking? I'm looking right at it. I can plainly see it is, and I'm asking anyway. Is that the same color?
I guess we're painting the pouch.
Yes. So who watched Fallout?
It's
I
on
really
my
want to get
list.
into that. It looks like it's a
No
really neat.
spoilers.
Oh, okay. I won't spoil it.
I didn't watch that yet. I watched the other one, the Rebel Moon Part 2 or whatever it is.
Can't believe they all died. I'm just joking. Nobody died. I haven't watched. I mean, I did watch it actually.
I played Fallout 4, so I mean I understand what's going on. But
You know what? Good, because after you watch it, then I need you to explain a bunch of things to me because I'm having trouble understanding the some of the things.
well, it's on the list to watch. Hopefully it'll come up soon.
Can you make can you put in a request to put that bump a couple of things and put that so we can talk about it? And when the wife
Yeah,
goes,
are
"Why?
you done
Why?"
watching it? Are you done
Yes.
watching all episodes? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just started it last week, but it was only there's only 8.
Yeah.
I haven't started yet.
I'll tell you what, man. I never thought I would say this. I thought I got lost in Discovery. I thought it was over, and when they said there's a new another season, I'm like, oh, okay. So I just hit play, and I guess it just picked up where I last left off. I had no idea where I was, and I couldn't do it. And I'm not one of those people. I embrace. Look, if I say I like Star Trek, I like Star Trek. That means I like anything, unless it's like just like the worst junk you've ever seen. But still, there'll be something like I'd rather have something doing something rather than nothing going on and turning it into obscurity. But I just couldn't do it, man.
Are you guys watching The Bad Batch?
The what? Who?
The Bad
I'd
Batch.
like to, but I don't have Disney, so
All right.
What is that? What is that?
Star Wars
Star
3D
Wars.
animated, and it's based on the some clones, right?
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of people won't watch the tunes, but believe me,
Oh, they're
I don't
good.
say because I'm a Star Wars guy, but some of those Clone Wars cartoons were better than some of these last movies. I mean, storylines run really deep, and then they run into Rebels. I mean, there's a lot of things. If you don't watch the tunes, you don't even know what happened. Like Darth Vader came back. Well,
Yeah, Clone Wars is
good stuff.
pretty darn good.
But it's if you guys can get past the fact that it's a cartoon. I mean, the animation is great, but the storylines
So
are really deep.
cartoons, it's not the fact that it's a cartoon. It's just the way they chose to animate their characters. And my logic behind that is when Batman the animated series came, we were there. I mean, I was in college. We were there. I was waiting for. We had a big watch party, and I thought I thought it was. I really thought everything was great. Wow, this is just like the movie, blah 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 blah. Until they showed Batman, I'm like, I just can't do it with the exaggerated chin. How can you? Again, here's my logic. How can you spend all this just effort, time, and money to get this thing so nicely, and at the time uniquely animated, and then just go with a choice like to make him exaggerated with that, to me, in my opinion, just like that I just can't do it with that big jaw,
But if you're watching like these other things, like Mandalorian, for example, Ahsoka, all those storylines are coming straight from the cartoons.
Right. So here's the thing. It's not the cartoon part of it, because every Star Wars game, those are my favorite games in the world. The PC games, Jedi Academy and Jedi Academy 2 and stuff like that. That whole storyline and stuff that was told perfectly with animation that wasn't even as good. I mean, it wasn't as good as what these guys are putting out, but it's just the way it's the way they shot it and the way they told the story. It looked more like, there's something about they didn't try to make the character, you know, animated, more animated than it should be. If there's nothing going on and you're staring off into space, well, then that's what you're doing. You're staring off into space. You don't have to, make all this, whatever they do. I don't know. It's just something that just rubs me the wrong way about it. But computer, I wish I could take all the computer, what do they call that?
The
You're
cutscenes.
animated.
The cut scenes. Those would make great. I mean, Star Wars, Star Trek, any of that stuff that I've seen. Those are great, man. Those are great. As a matter of fact, I have that. I have to start all the every trick game that ever was. As far as I know, except for a couple, except for one of like the next generation ones, but that's it's almost like canon to me.
I'm doing the hand plates now. I'm not going to glue them on yet, but I'm just covering them in beachcomber beige.
Okay.
I'm trying to do it in stages so stuff dries as I go along, so I can go back and I can add layers to it. Because Vincent's right, man. These paints, the apple barrel paints, you really have to like do a couple of coats.
Which is why, see, and I know you're doing it because to get people out there that don't want to spend the money, but on the other side of that is, if I'm not very, because I've done the apple barrel and I've done all that. And some of them, if they're fresh, they're great. If they're not, and they've been sitting there like old stock, then they're just like water and they never mix properly.
Yeah. Well, so I've had some bad Citadel paints too. I think that's just indicative of the
Right.
the medium.
Yep. Me too. But pound for pound, the like I've only had to coat these one time.
You know what? An interesting side note. Han Solo had that C-96 broom-handled Mauser, remember? And they turned it into his blaster.
Yep.
This thing right here is actually a Bergman #1 from, I think it was the late 1800s. And it was a prototype weapon. Only about 100 or so, no, less than 100 were made. And they destroyed one for this movie, or this TV series.
What,
So
It
this
is.
is only one. This is one coat.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're showing off, Vincent. You're showing off.
Listen,
And-
I'm the last one you're ever going to see showing off paint. But I'm just showing the Citadel. Sometimes it's pricey, but sometimes it's worth the the tag.
Hey, you got Pete Butler's on there.
It's the Mando.
And to me, whoever's watching out there, again, not that it's hard, but this to me is the hardest piece because it's 3 colors. And then when you get to the top, you see that stripe. I do that, the darker brown also.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know?
doing my Tuscan red on that band.
Right.
I mean, it could be orange. I mean, I got the burnt orange too, or what's it called? Sunset Canyon. But I was just looking online and I saw some pictures, kind of put a bunch of stuff together, But I'm kind of like that. I'm a dork. Or as Scott says, I'm a big nerd, super nerd.
Yeah, but that's cool. That's the irony. The super nerd is the cool one.
Really?
Yep.
I'll tell my wife.
Buddy, she married you. I'm sure she knows that by now. However,
Nerd.
well, clearly.
Honestly, I married out of my league.
I'm sure it's probably a fair trade.
Not even close.
Well, okay, well, let me give you the variables why that's not true. And it's not what you think. See, everybody can't be John Wayne, Steve.
I am John Wayne.
No. No, you're more like
Elmer Fudd?
no, I was going to say Gabby Hayes. Or who's the other guy?
Festus.
No, not Festus, but you got the wrong You got the wrong
That's not a commentary on Crafter. I was just going along with what you're trying to.
Oh. No. But what I'm saying is, okay, how about this? Everybody can't be Fonzie, right? And if everybody was Fonzie, it actually wouldn't have been a good show, because what's Fonzie going to do? Be around a bunch of other Fonzies?
Yeah.
You know, who's going to be they can't. There's nothing. It's Richie who had all the good ideas about doing stuff.
Okay, so I painted my my little band the wrong color apparently, but I like that red. I'm going to stick with it. Now I'm also going to paint this little Mandalorian symbol that same color, that same red.
Yeah, it's a good color.
Just not for this. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
That little bow, you want to make it a different color, whatever you decide to go with.
I am the least.
This one.
While I think this is a very good show, this is not my thing. I mean, it's not like it's not my thing. It's just
first 2 episodes, Mandalorian, priceless. I don't know about the third one though.
What do you mean?
Episodes?
I mean,
Seasons.
series or whatever, seasons. Yeah.
Seasons.
I didn't know there was a third one. I'm still on number 2.
I don't think there is. He showed up in Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Okay, but please don't spoil nothing, because I don't. I'm not even sure what the little kid is. And I don't want to know right now. I don't want to know right now. I want to find out.
I mean, I see the part where all of his teeth grew in.
Oh yeah.
His fangs.
Yeah, and he killed Luke Skywalker. That was so cool.
Well, is that after they got him wet?
Yeah. After midnight, you don't feed him. Looks like I got to do my second coat. Oh, I was working on the rifle, and so I got distracted. So I painted the stock brown. Now I'm going to paint most of it black.
Melissa Sue Anderson. What's wrong with that guy? Well, because she was on Love Boat tonight.
Oh, Love Boat. Remember back when TV was TV? People, you stayed up, you watched your shows, and if you missed it, well, you just missed it.
You missed it. You were shafted.
God, that's when you lash out with anger and go rob the 7-Eleven. I remember those days.
I don't remember that, but
I mean, I remember stuff like V. You guys ever watched V when we were kids?
Oh, yeah.
You had to run home. Like you in the middle of playing with your friends or whatever you guys were doing. It's like, oh shit, I gotta go home.
I never saw V. I never seen it. I don't know what all the buzz is. I know.
When we were kids, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I don't know if it still stands up today. But it was
the best TV movie I ever saw was The Day After.
Oh, I remember watching it too.
that was the atomic bomb one?
No, ABC After School Special with John Travolta and Melissa Sue Anderson.
Oh.
The Day After. No, yes, the one with the atomic
Day
bomb.
after what?
Day After.
It's the atomic bomb one.
Okay, Scott's messing. Okay, you got me on that one, Scott.
Hey, so look, so seriously, who thought? See, I also thought that David Cassidy did it was actually a pilot, but it was it did it in a movie format. I think it was what was the thing called where they had like ABC mystery movie? I think that's what it was. Which would have had like Columbo and then like McMillan and Wife and then.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so David Cassidy did a pilot where he was a undercover cop, and he goes back to high school, and he busts all the he played a stoner. To
Sure,
bust
that's not
the,
21 Jump Street.
I'm positive that's probably I'm sure that's what they.
Yeah,
They
that's what they
based
picked
21
up.
Jump Street on.
Yeah, But it was really good. He was good in it, you know. I don't know why. See, you know, I guess layers isn't a good cover paint.
No,
The layers and the contrast, you know, they kill me sometimes.
Yeah, this is killing me.
yeah, you
And
need the base, is what it's called, the base.
and it's old paint. You could, by the way, you tell old paint because it's got grit in it, like it's coagulated.
All right, this is coming along. Here's my second coat.
Hey, so the shoot. The Anycube, that one for $3.99 that they show when I open it up. Is that what you have?
I have the 6K mono Anycubic.
Yeah, so I don't know what model that is. All I know is it's.
Here, I got it behind me. Let me look.
I'm saying when I open up the ad, you just said what yours was.
No, but it's got a yeah, it's Photon Mono X 6K. The 6K. I don't know. I got it because it was on sale. It was a refurbished one, and then
Right,
I got.
no,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I get it. I'm saying like when you sent me the thing, right?
Yeah.
And when you open that up, it opens up to what they're pushing right now, which is this the printer that's, I think it's $2.99 or $3.99. I think it's $2.99 actually. And I just wondered if that was the same one you had, but I'd have to pull it up and look at it.
I'd have to look at it. I don't know.
So, what you want to do when you're buying these machines, you got to do your homework because some of them they're good. So when you're paying $300 for a machine, it's not a big deal. But what happens if you spend a little more on the machines as they're going out because they're on sale? They start making the screens and they start making parts for it.
Oh,
So eventually, you're gonna have a big chunk of metal that's not gonna work because they obsolete the parts, or you'd be paying through the nose for them. So you got to be careful and do your homework with that.
that was a very, very good tip.
I mean, the flip side is you can get a good machine, but again, you know, 200-300, that's not a lot. You know,
Right.
like, it's a good price to start on something. You know, and this way you learn, and if a year or two down the road it doesn't work, you didn't spend, you know, 1,500 or 2,000.
Well, I have somebody that who said he's gonna get me through the learning curve.
I did. I showed a video on it.
We
Here's
need,
the thing: if you could get past your first 6 months of printing, you're golden.
Yeah, that's true. That's
A
probably
lot of
true.
people, they're gonna get it out of the box. They're gonna think, you know, it's a plug and play. You're gonna put a model in there, and you're good to go. It's so far from the truth. It's not.
Right.
Even,
right. No, I get that. But you know what? The reality is that's so far from the truth now.
right.
But eventually, sad as it may seem, eventually that's exactly what it'll be. You'll be able to pull it out, plug and play. And then
I'm not sure about that though, Scott, because there's, you know what it is? There's so many other little things. So the machine is only one part of the process, right? The
Right.
other part of the process is if you don't support your models right, they're gonna fail. You know, so that's another part of the process. So it's not just the machine. It's the way you got to support it, and then there's other factors. So even
Well-
when you have that right, if you're printing in X amount of temperature, it can cause to fail. You know, if your machine's not level, it could cause to fail. I mean, there's your resin's bad, it could cause to fail. So it's gonna
Right.
get better. It's gotten light years light years ahead just from 3 years ago. You know,
Right. Well, and the reason why I say that because that's where as you know, what behind what was that? What was that? What was that drum set? What kit was that? That picture of you.
oh, I wasn't a drummer. That was my friend's drums. I think it was a Yamaha. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was gonna say behind me, I got this digital thing right here, right? This little rolling kit that I can get any drum sound in the world. With the articulations and stuff like that. I'm playing it, but and that I mean that's not even obviously new technology, but I don't know the way stuff changes.
For the people that
Crap.
don't know what Scott's talking about, I posted a 1989 picture.
I thought you were a drummer. I was like, oh, good. I'll talk to you about
I
music.
had long hair. The funny part about that, Scott, was I was actually considered a Guido and a DJ, but I had long hair and I loved rock as much as I loved club music. But me and my friends once in a while for giggles, we would rent the studio for like $100 for an hour or two when we would go down to Bay Street. One of my friends played guitar, another guy played the drums. I would try and sing. You know what I mean? It was just for fun. It was a Friday night. We get some beers, we hang out. But I jumped behind the drums to take that picture, and I'm glad I did because it's like one of the rare good pictures I have when my hair was that long. So it makes for a good talk, but it's all smoke and mirrors.
So wait a minute. So explain to me Guido real quick. I had a Jewish girlfriend from
like
Jersey.
A club guy, you know what I mean? You guys aren't from around here, so it's all we were in clubs,
It's so funny. I mean, because that's what
disco or house music, back then, hip hop, stuff like that, But I would actually make mixtapes. I did parties, I did clubs, I did, Sweet 16, stuff like that.
That's funny, man. I'm dying because she's.
No one would have thought I was. If you looked at me, my hair like that, you would have thought I was a rocker. But technically, I don't know if I would have been considered a rocker.
Oh shit! That's so fun. That's funny because she made a comment about going to clubs in Jersey, and then you get a couple of Guidos and they just won't, they're harassing you, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I act like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, those.
So where did you go in Jersey? Like Cherry Hill? What?
To be honest with you, I don't know because she drove. When I was at University of Miami. I had a girlfriend. She was from New Jersey, right?
I got you.
And she when summertime came, we drove. I spent a couple of weeks with her at her house. So I do know this though. She took me to a. Wow, I messed this shoe up pretty good. She took me to a place where it was like a mountain or something, and you could park and it overlooked like New York City. It was like freaking awesome. I was like, wow. And funny thing was my cousin Vinny was in the theater, and she took me to that, and that's we had no idea it was we thought it was of course we did what people do when you're in college, so we were all primed and ready for it, and we laughed. But yeah, well now I know what a Guido is. I had no, I mean I kind of thought, but I'm thinking more of like Joe Pesci as a gangster.
Well, no, that's just a gangster. Guidos were like, I don't even know, Cavaricis, turtlenecks, cardigans.
Did you guys like
hanging out?
So like John Travolta
with your hairy guinea chest sticking out,
So that's John. So you were like John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever crowd.
Yeah, but a little past that.
Well, yeah, because
you went from the John Travolta stage to the mullet stage, right? And then you went to the short hair stage. So that's why when I was asking you when you cut your hair again if you were upset, because when I cut mine I started working. It was like 1989, 1990, and she cut my hair for years. So when it came time, I'm like, listen, I got a job. I got to cut it. I was okay with it at that point to cut it, but she was like practically in tears. She's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. She's like, you want me to put it in a ponytail and save it or whatever? I was like,
Yeah, I have mine. I have a few of those.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it was fun when I had it, but it was so much easier to do after I cut it off.
I had one. I had stupid. It's stupid, but I had the first time I cut my hair. Someone stole it.
Oh,
I had-
really?
Yeah, these girls broke into the house where where we were living at. It was myself and a couple guys from different other bands and stuff like that. And they broke in and they that was one of the things they took. And it was like,
My
that's
God,
weird.
it's like they must have been stalkers.
Well, I mean,
You had
it's,
your own stalker.
well, it's like something you don't, it's like it's kind of neat, as long as they don't. I always thought it was kind of neat when I was in the shit. Flammy Channel, sorry, I mean shoot. When I was in high school, I was always in band, so we did the high school would come and do concerts at the middle schools, and I was actually, so when we were doing, when we played at the middle school that actually I went to, because there's a few of them in the area or whatever, but that was the first the first big attention grab, because everybody's older, so you're like all the younger people are like, oh, they're older kids, yay, All right. I think I had a pair of shoes that looked just like this. We've only just begun. He said, oh, shoot.
Better review that strap. Okay. I think we're doing okay. That's the basics.
Who, never mind. I'll save that for later.
Yeah, next week we're gonna have to glue it. Vincent, what kind of glue do we get? You said Gorilla Glue. It's not the super glue, right?
I use the one with the blue cap. I don't know if it makes a difference, but that's the one I use.
The one that's kind of like a gel, right?
It says super glue, right?
It's not super glue.
Right, but
It's
made
great.
like
So, for what it's worth, I don't know if this is even contenders, but I got Fabric Fusion, I got Tacky Glue. Is that, I'm asking.
So I gotta be honest, I didn't use those, so I don't know.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean? I can only speak for what I use.
I think I have the Gorilla Glue somewhere here,
Once
too.
it can stick to the resin and stick to the clothes, I mean, you're good. But give me 1 second.
But Vinny,
here. So this
that's
is what I
Gorilla.
use.
That's Gorilla Glue super glue, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what that says? You're on reverse,
Correct,
so
yes.
okay. And then is that a gel, like Crafter asked? Is that a gel or
This
is
is
that?
not the. I don't believe this is the one that's gel. I think there's one that's
Okay.
actually specifically called gel.
Right,
Let me see
right,
it.
right.
Let me see the front of that again.
Okay.
I think the gel has the green cap.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
When
right.
you go there, just like I said, there's different colored caps. You want the one with the blue cap. I mean, that's the one I know that works. If you have something that you know works, like for example, look, I'm tugging on his armor here, not coming off. You know what I'm saying?
So you glued that straight to the fabric.
Straight on. I put the
Okay.
glue on in the armor, put it on, hold it for like 10 seconds, and then let it do its magic. Same with the knee pads. Thigh pads. Anything that's glued is all the same glue.
Did you have to roughen up the back surface of the print?
I didn't, to be honest with you.
Thinking about getting a little sandpaper and just like rubbing it a little bit just to
it probably wouldn't hurt. So it doesn't have, because people don't know, like, this is what it looks like before it's painted. So sometimes my parts, I don't use the typical machines like you guys have. Mine's an industrial machine. So that's why they come out more like plastic than resin. So you may want to scuff it up. I didn't, and it glued, but I guess it never hurts, right?
Yeah. And then you take this Under Armour piece and you glue it right to your chest piece, right? Show them how that locks.
Technically, I just popped them in. Where is it? Give me 1 second. I got to find the other piece. I'm actually painting it. Let me get a white one. Give me 1 second. I'm sure there's one here somewhere.
Crafter, can you hold up one of your shoes? Okay, you're painting that stripe just down to that little bump, right?
Yeah, right there.
Okay, all right.
To answer your question, Steve, you'll see that they pop in.
Yeah, but you need to put glue in there, right? You gotta glue them together.
Well, what happens is you're gonna glue the top part of the chest, and the bottom, and when you glue the bottom padding, it's gonna stay on anyway. You won't have to glue the two parts together. I didn't glue mine together. I just glued them both to the suit.
Gotcha.
Just make sure when you glue this top piece, though, you're in line.
Right.
I put mine in line with, the cape that I made. Like here's the second one. So you want to make sure that it's basically coming out just. You want just like a 2 or 3 2 millimeters maybe between the cape and the armor.
Okay. Yeah, I got one that I made from a pattern from Classic TV Toys.
Let me
it out and made it. I made it out of this lycra material because you can cut the edges and you don't have to worry about it. And you want it a little rough anyway. I had to actually pull it to get it to look rough.
Right.
So I went around and just like pulled the seams a little bit just so it was rough enough.
All right, so how are we doing here, guys?
I think we're good with the basics. Yeah. Next week, make sure that you guys have your vinyl and your cutter because we're going to add the other pieces that go on the belt. The little ammo pieces and the pouches and that little grenade carrier. Am I right, Vincent?
Yeah, let me grab a few. You're talking about this one, right?
Yeah, that's a grenade carrier, yeah. And the belt buckle. We got the belt buckle in here too.
Yeah, all those, if you spray them, you won't have to paint them again. This one, you just, you're going to paint around everything brown, with the dark brown, and then I left the circle, the rings.
Okay.
I left them silver, and just the top I did red. Let me give you a better picture. Sorry.
I primed mine, so I'm just going to paint it brown and then put the silver in there.
This is how I went with mine. If you guys could see.
Yeah, looks good. Real good. What's your suit? Is that a bodysuit?
It's just Classic TV Toys. It's just a brown bodysuit.
I gotta get up in my attic. I'm pretty sure I got one of those.
Yeah, I used the jumpsuit.
I have a darker one too. That's the two different ones that they have.
Yeah, that's good. Everybody's doing something a little differently, so that somebody can say, "Oh yeah, I like the way that looks. I'm going to use that." Whatever. Yeah.
So the original one, give me 1 second, I'll pop them out. This is basically the same figure, just the head. The helmet doesn't go on, but this one, if you notice, these are jumpsuits. They're very hard to come by. I had a couple stashed.
What are those? Wait, let me see it. Let me see it.
Those are the old Castaway.
Oh, I have some of those.
David Lee.
Yeah, I have some of those.
I had a couple in the parts bins because
That's so funny. I have some too, and I won't use them because they're
you can't
like
get them. I have
hopefully
only
the
like
best
two
way.
left. You know, they're like gold.
Yeah, I got. Speaking of the colors, I actually got the blue ones because I was doing they're going to be for astronauts, or Air Force,
Yeah, I think I have like a red and an orange left, but I only had a couple of these dark. They're like a charcoal.
I liked the boots that he had, the ones that were super tight, but they actually sleeved on.
Those were good. His flap boots, flap like Captain America style. Those were the best because those a lot of people didn't understand. You could paint those. So
interesting. Yeah, I think I still have.
Paint. So those I hoarded a lot of also when I was able to get my hands out, especially when Dave was kind of throwing the towel with them. I was like,
Right.
just give me what you have left, and I would hit him up every couple of weeks. Do you have any more? Did you find any more? Because for Captain America, there was nothing better than those boots.
All right, so we have fellas.
Crafter.
I think we're
Sorry.
good.
Yeah. So the hand parts you said you painted what color?
Oh, I did those
Do that
beachcomber. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about them. I did a beachcomber beige. I'm gonna have to do another coat, and there's a little triangle in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna paint it sky blue.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Let me put another coat on that while I'm thinking about it.
This other pouch. Is this that's the same color as the pouch on
like
the boot?
the espresso brown, John, or whatever dark brown that you're
Is
using.
that the same color as that? Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I did. I went with the darker one there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The
So I don't
lighter,
have to be
lighter
seeing-
one on the boot, but I went with the darker on the belt because
Oh yeah, yeah.
look unique. Yeah, I mean unison.
Right,
Trying
right.
to match it too. Trying to match my leather.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All right.
Gotta get the rifle painted. I personally am out of time, but I'm gonna paint the rifle.
I mean, that's fine. I'm gonna put a little video out, like touch up or whatever.
I can leave this. Well, look, what I'm saying is I can leave this on for another 10 minutes or so. I don't have to be right where I'm at.
No, I think we're pretty good. We have a good stopping place.
Just reminding everyone, if you guys have questions, just message me. I'll get back to you. Anyone who has a kit, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll walk you through it.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm gonna do another little video because I'm gonna wait for these to dry and I'm gonna put a little wash on them. Same thing with the shoes. And we got Tar Productions here. Hey Tar. I hope some of these people have picked up a kit because it's a lot of fun.
When we're done, I'll throw them up on either the Etsy or the eBay shop, and you guys could just go. You can link it to your video, Steve.
Okay. I have it on the first one. I'll do it on this one as well.
I only made X amount because I wanted to make sure we had them before we started.
Yeah.
But I'll go back and make more. Whoever wants them, we'll get them to them.
It'll be next week.
Yeah, so next week we're on the final chapter, so they got about a week to get caught up.
Well, wait a minute now, Arnold. Final chapter, we're gonna have belts and capes and all that.
Yep. Well, the cape is just you're gonna get some lycra and
What color did you do your little dealio right here?
what's the dealio?
The little crest or whatever that is.
Oh yeah. Let's see, where is it? I just used that black wash that I came up with.
Okay.
I didn't even wash mine. I'm not a big wash guy, but again, everyone.
Cleanliness.
They're on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do the wash on the plates and the boots. I'm that wash dude.
I may do it to make like later on in the season look.
Yeah. Well,
When he first got it, it was all nice and shiny, so I wanted to keep the shiny look.
And
Yeah.
what are the washes? Oh, this is a wash? Agrex Earth Shade is a wash?
it's a shade. Shades are like washes. Just call them something different. So yeah, use an Agrex Earth Shade on your brown parts, and this I'm gonna use a black on the Under Armour. I'm gonna use a black wash. That's at Nolan's Oil.
Oil, right. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna hit this, and then I gotta go.
Yeah, I'll do a video on the
Right.
washes that I do. So all right, so thank you guys for coming.
Well, hold
Next
on.
live stream is probably next Sunday, right?
Yep. Unless we
Unless something happens.
say otherwise, which could happen. It all kind of depends on schedules and making sure that.
If you're watching from my channel, I put updates like during the week. So, just go to the Casual Crafter channel, and I hate to do a self plug, but if you subscribe, then you'll find out when it pops, so that you can get on there and you can check it out.
And hit the bell.
Well,
Right, you
yeah,
have to hit the bell in order for it to notify you, I think.
yeah. I don't know. They usually pop up though. I have kids at school. They're always like, "Oh, I saw you drop your video, Mr. Snell." So
Mr. Snell.
that's right.
Don't get used to that around here, mister.
So let me guess that you were called Mr. Smell. I could just-
Yeah, Steve Snell.
No, I'm saying the kids because they have to make a poke fun at your
Well,
name. So
They will be
No,
on
they don't-
Monday, thanks
I
to
learned
you.
a long time ago. You
Oh.
don't make fun of Mr. Snell.
Mr.
I
Smell.
Crushed kids. I just crushed one last Friday. Almost made him cry.
Don't teach in the Bronx. Okay, so if we're good, I'm gonna check out.
All right. Well, you guys stay safe, be cool, and we'll see you soon.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. Any questions? Just message me.
Okay.
Thank you,
thanks,
Vin.
guys.
Thanks for joining,
Bye.
Ben.
Hi, John, Stephen.
Bye, guys.
I will see you guys. Actually, I'll communicate with you because I'm gonna need to catch up on some of these pieces, but we'll do that, and so I'll be fresh as a daisy. It all caught up. I think I'm pretty caught up anyway, but we'll see for sure.
I'll drop a little video, just kind of like catch everybody up on the touch-ups that we're doing or anything else that we missed.
Okay, and Vin's got the figure out. This looks so cool, man.
Yeah. I wanna
Guys,
get it
you're
done tonight.
halfway there. Whoever's doing the video, you're halfway there.
It's a great job. All right, guys.
Guys, take
See you
care.
all.
See you.
Have a good one.